Hey guys, it's me, and today I'm going to be showing you how to script this really cool thing, which I think is called Super Fling. I'm not sure if there's an official name, but I call it Super Fling. I know some other people call it Super Fling. So this tutorial is my first scripting tutorial. I hope you find it useful, and it's going to be a quick tutorial and a really easy one, although I do expect you to know the basics of Roblox Lua scripting. I'm not going to get too creative with this, but you can go about this however way you want. But this is what I'm going to do. There's going to be a part, and whenever a player touches this part, it's going to do a 3-second countdown, and after the countdown, it will fling the player into the air vertically along the y-axis upwards, directly upwards. So I have here my part. I'm going to call it Fling. Dude, my spelling is so bad. Fling part. And let's just make it look better. Yeah, I think this is necessary. There we have a very good looking, handsome fling part, and obviously we have to insert a script inside, and this is the script where all the cool things will happen. So let's start off with the basic variables. The fling part here, a debounce for the touched event, and a table including 3 different numbers. Now to do the basic touched event. So here's the touched event. Before I do the actual flinging part, I'm gonna do a basic countdown, and then I'm gonna announce that the player is about to be flung. So print, I don't know, get flunged. Okay, and now this is the flinging part. So I'm gonna start off with creating a variable called body force. Once again, well, you can name this whatever you want, and this will store a new instance. So instance.new, and this instance is an instance of a body force. Okay, so what the heck is a body force? Let me explain it right now. A body force, basically what it does is that it exerts a force upon its parent. So this body force is very simple. A force that will move this part along a direction of the world axis, so along X, Y, or Z. And you can change this here in the force property. If we wanted to move along the X axis, we would change it here. And sometimes you have to put a larger number than normal, because the larger the number is, the more force is exerted. And if we do 10 right now, it's probably not going to push this part because it can't push the mass of the object. But if we do maybe 1000, I think it would work. So let's try it out. This should be unanchored. Okay, run. Let's see. Wait, come back, come back, no! You just witnessed the death of the test part, but it's back now, so we're all good. So that's what a body force does, and basically what we're going to do here is we're going to insert a body force into the character of the player. We're going to set the force property of body force, which is a vector 3 value, to one of these numbers here. So actually vector 3.new. So we have here 0, 0, 0 because it's X, Y, and Z. And we want to change the number for Y. So here we can just enter, if I want to access one of these numbers here, we can just do, I'm going to access the first one. We can do this using square brackets. Oh, wait, actually I forgot. Okay, there. So this is referring to this first number right here. So right now, if we were to play the game and touch the part, it would do the countdown and then make this new instance, but we wouldn't get flung because this instance body force here doesn't have a parent to exert its force upon. So we want to parent it to the humanoid root part of our character, or the character that hit this fling part. So why the humanoid root part? Well, the humanoid root part is the root part of a character, and all the body parts are connected to the humanoid root part. So if we were to in-game script a new position for this humanoid root part, all the other parts in that character model will move along with it. And so if we exert a force on the humanoid root part, it'll also bring along all the other body parts. So right now we have to make a variable to refer to the humanoid root part, so we'll just call it root part equals hit.parent, which should be the character model, and then humanoid root part. Okay, and now let's set the parent of body force to this root part. Okay, also you see these three numbers here. As you can see, they're forces here. If we apply it to the force property, these numbers will be the force along the y-axis, and the highest number here will be the most force, and the lowest, obviously the lowest. The lowest number will cause the character to glitch slower. It'll take more time to glitch out completely. Meanwhile, this one will take much faster time, and if you were to go over this, maybe like, that would instantly make the character disappear, so you can't do math.huge. Let's try it out, and bam, we got a countdown there. And well, I don't know why this is taking some, why is it taking, what the heck? Okay, I'm sure we're gonna get flung, right? Okay guys, so for some reason I just tested it out with this first number and it didn't fling me. Maybe I was too heavy, I'm not really sure, because last time I did it, it worked. So I just switched to this second number here and put 2 here instead of 1, and I'll just make this here maybe 3.5. Okay, so let me just test it out here with this second number, which should be more force. Okay, so my character, bam, let's try it out. Okay, and there we go. We got flung upwards, and as you can see, my character is starting to glitch out, and my camera is actually not shaking, it's the character. So yeah, it's doing like this weird thing, and oh god, what the heck? Oh guys, I just got stretched out, and holy cow. Oh, what the? Okay, so my helmet. What's up with my helmet? That's basically it with body force. But it's time for bonus time. So why bonus time? That's because there's multiple ways of doing this, but another cool way, if you want to make this fling more interesting, you might want to try using body angular velocity instead of body force. So we have here the test part again. Thank you, test part, for your cooperation. And instead of body force, it has a child called body angular velocity. What does body angular velocity do to its parent? Well, what it does, it exerts a rotational force. And this force, you can set the force that you want, how much force is applied here in the angular velocity property, as well as the direction that it will rotate in. So if we were to set this right now to maybe like 10, we're hoping that with 10 there in the y area here, this is y number, it will rotate along the y axis with this force of 10, like that. Also keep in mind, you don't want it to be welded nor anchored. And so if we were to run this right now, it actually would not spin, because 10 is not enough to push the mass of the test part right here. So I'm gonna set it to maybe 100. Let's see if it works. Oh boy, it's spinning. Okay, there we go, spinning really fast. If we were to set this right here, the Z force, to 50, what would it do? Oh god, it's going. Hey, stop! Stop! No! And then there's also max torque, which is the max rotational force. And right now it's set to a pretty high number, but if we were to set it to, let's just say 4, here along the y-axis, but also 4 here on the z, it wouldn't rotate, because the max force is just too low. The max force that is being applied is too low to actually push the object here. And then we'll set it back. and P is the aggressiveness, but we're not going to be changing that in this tutorial. So yeah, let's change this here in the script. Let's change it to ang, which is short for body angular velocity, and this here will be body angular velocity. So as observed, body angular velocity does not have a property called force. Instead, it's called angular velocity, and again, it's a vector 3 value. And instead of wanting to rotate the humanoid root part in the y-axis, because you would just be spinning around like this, it's not going to do anything. I will change this here and do it, rotate it so that it rotates along the x and z axes. Okay, so yeah, and then we have to possibly, if the max torque is set here the same way here, it might not fling us into the air. So we have to set it even higher to let's just say body ang dot max torque, which is a vector 3 value, by the way, dot new. We will set it to infinity for all these areas here. So instead of having to write math.huge and math.huge and math.huge, we can make a variable here called inf, which is short for infinity, which will represent math.huge, and then here we can just set it to inf. This means here that the force that is applied will have no restrictions, so there's not going to be any max force, and I'm not going to mess about with the aggressiveness here. So basically, if we test it out now, it should work. We're gonna get flung in the coolest way possible. Instead of a simple fling straight into the air upwards, we're gonna get flung and start rotating like we're actually flinging it. Oh god. Well, heck. Okay. Let's see. And now, as you can see, we're rotating. What? Bam. Okay, so we're still rotating. We haven't stopped rotating. Yeah, it's very interesting. Any normal person seeing this in a Roblox game would, I don't know, would be really confused and start questioning the meaning of life. But man, this is dang. That was my first scripting tutorial. I hope you enjoyed and found this very useful, because I sure did. And wow, my character.